Welcome back to the News Hub here at WSJ Live. I'm Simon Constable. Of all the controversies dogging the White House, the IRS mess provides the biggest opportunity for lasting damage. That's what the Wall Street Journal's Jerry Seib says, and he joins us now from Washington, D.C. to explain himself. There he is. Thank you very much, Jerry.
Sure, happy to be with you.
So, a great column as always. Three big messes, but this one the worst.
Right, you've got a trifecta right now. Things seem to come in threes for whatever reason. You've got the revival of the Benghazi controversy, the questions about the attack on the U.S. diplomatic outpost in Benghazi, Libya. You've got the IRS scandal, which we're talking about here. And then you've also got the question of the Justice Department subpoenaing secretly the records of about 20 phone lines from the Associated Press in search of a leaker. Those are all controversies that have kind of enveloped the White House over the last week to 10 days. I guess the point I'm making here is I think the one that has the greatest potential to damage the Obama agenda in the long run is, I think, the IRS scandal, because it kind of goes to the underpinnings of Obama governance, which is the notion that he advanced in 2008 that government could be activist, could be trusted to fix problems in a smart way and in a non-ideological way. Things like, the bailout of the banks, the stimulus of the economy, saving GM, that the government was capable of doing things and not getting carried away as it did those things. That's the idea that I think is called into question by the IRS scandal.
And of course, it gets back also the way you put that to the great Reagan quote, government isn't the solution, it's the problem.
Well, yeah, and look, there are plenty of people in a polarized country where views of how big and how activist the government should be are the great divide between blue and red. There are plenty of people who are inclined to think government's the problem anyway. This gives those people some additional ammunition for what they already believed. I think it may create some doubts, sow some seeds of doubt in the minds of other people who would like to see government do some things well and effectively to help them in their lives. But, in the back of your mind, you say, are they capable of doing it, or will they mess it up somehow? I think the more particular problem, Simon, is that one of the things the IRS, the agency that's really in the crosshairs here, was supposed to do over the next couple of years was play a big role in implementing the Affordable Care Act, what people call Obamacare. A lot of the provisions of that act require the IRS to either oversee the system of tax credits and the tax penalties that are put in place to help people or require people to get health insurance so that there's almost universal coverage. That's a big task for the IRS. Now people are asking questions about the IRS's capabilities. And
those questions are becoming more and more pointed from what I've heard. Some people saying, well, maybe we should scrap the IRS and just have a flat tax and make it very simple so we won't need tax collectors in the same way. Does this end up just being like, political trench warfare for the next 3 years?
Well, we'll see. I think that one of the things, I don't know about the next 3 years, but one of the things that could happen here is that we dissolve into political trench warfare, to use your description, early enough now so that everything is focused on the 2014 congressional elections. Congress is a little paralyzed. There's not a clear Democratic or Republican majority. You've got split control between the House and the Senate. To some extent, both sides are kind of waiting for the fever to break so that somebody's in charge, and that can't happen before 2014. One of the dangers, I think, for the White House is that this becomes just a kind of another political mud wrestling match that takes away attention from the rest of the Obama agenda, and that things such as expanded preschool for children, or more stimulus measures, or more infrastructure measures, or even maybe immigration reform get put on the sidetrack.
Okay, it's going to be very interesting for us in the press. Thank you very much, Jerry Seib. We appreciate your time.
Sure, Simon.
And I recommend everybody reads Jerry's column on WSJ.com.